Okay, so hello YouTubers and welcome to the 1970s collector's set from B&M for 2018. So you can see it here in its packaging, and it's basically the same kind of packaging that we've seen in the previous years and sets. However, this time the packaging is smaller, and just to prove this, my dog is walking by. I've got one of the 2016 sets here, and you can see the packaging is considerably smaller. Why is that? Mainly because this set and all of the B&M sets this year don't come with any accessories, none at all, which is a shame because that was a real highlight of last year's set. However, taking a look at the packaging, you can see here includes the 4th Doctor, the Brigadier, and Auton. You got some promotional images on the side. On the back, just saying what the figures are, and that's part of the 5.5 inch range. Again, same kind of information, nice, lovely window box. Okay, so let's take a look at these figures out of the box, shall we? Okay, so here we have the figures out of their box, and this was sort of like the sort of middle in the road thing, kind of, because in some ways this is the best figure set, and yes, I'm going to say figure set because the TARDIS set is sort of in a sort of league of its own kind of thing. But this was, mainly the other set to get out of them. So anyway, let's take a look at the 4th Doctor, shall we? So you can see here the head is just your standard 4th Doctor head. Nothing different here at all whatsoever. However, you can see the hair sort of has a blonde-ish wash over the top. It kind of reminds me of the 13 Doctors version of this figure. You can also see that the paint apps on the face and that, it looks really nice. It's nice, sharp and tight. It's not like the 3rd Doctor figure where he's got really weird lips or something, but yeah, not too shabby. You can see here his costume is supposed to be from the talons of Weng-Chiang. And they're trying their best and they're not trying their best at the same time. So you can see here, you've got the waistcoat, shirt and tie from the Marcus figure. However, the waistcoat should not be that colour. It's the same colour as the Marcus figure, so that is an inaccuracy right off the bat. You can see here he's wearing Jon Pertwee's cloak, and for all purposes this is mainly a Jon Pertwee figure. And you can see that the pattern on it, to be honest, it looks just like a Jon Pertwee cloak, and to be honest, it could just get away with being one of Jon Pertwee's more tartany cloaks. It doesn't really look like the actual cloak from the episode that the 4th Doctor is wearing. And also, can we just get over the fact that, yes, this is obviously Jon Pertwee's jacket as well, which is an irritation because you've got the Jon Pertwee arms here with the tufts of shirts coming out, but you can see here, obviously his shirt is white, so this just looks really weird. So I don't know why they didn't use, say, the season 12 4th Doctor figure arms on this figure, which, would have been a lot more accurate because it would actually be 4th Doctor arms. And also the hands. Oh my god, just the hands. Look, they're just the regular 4th Doctor hands. Sorry, 3rd Doctor hands even. But you can see here, if I try and get this to focus, you can see you've got the thumb. Give me a minute. So you can see here you've got the fingers and the thumb, but you can also see the fingernails and sort of like the creases in the skin, so they've just painted them. I mean, why didn't they just use, say, I don't know, the Roger Delgado hands and just paint those a different colour, because they're actual gloves. So that's an irritation, but my main gripe is the legs. What the hell were they thinking? Why didn't they just use the standard 4th Doctor legs with the trousers and that? Why have they used the Jon Pertwee legs but with the fucking boots? And they painted the boots down here grey as well. I just don't get it. Why? It just looks really odd because the Jon Pertwee figure that comes with the TARDIS set, he just has the standard legs with the shoes and the trousers. So why didn't they either use the standard Jon Pertwee legs or the Tom Baker legs? Frankly, I've got no idea. But anyway, let's take the cloak off and see what this figure looks like underneath the cloak. Alright, so here we have the Fourth Doctor minus his cloak, and you can see it's just the standard Jon Pertwee jacket and the Jon Pertwee sort of body. And to be honest, yeah, I don't know. Does it look better? Does it look worse? But it is a disappointment. The head is actually... It feels like it is removable, because it is the Tom Baker body, and... Yeah, you can see the peg there, so... Yes, the head is removable. So I'm just going to pop this back on. So yes, the head is removable on this Fourth Doctor figure. So, you know, if you need a spare Fourth Doctor hex, or if you've got a Fourth Doctor figure where he has a dodgy face up or the dodgy lips thing, you know, you can swap it with this one. Because, to be honest, the paint on the head is probably the nicest thing. Unfortunately, the paint, when you try and take the head off, seems to flake off a bit. You just see a bit on my fingernail. There's a bit of paint that flakes off when you try and take the head off because of the collar being so tight. The cloak is extremely rubbery and extremely plasticky. Yeah, it feels even rubbier than previous ones. Though the good thing about this is obviously you could put it on a Jon Pertwee figure, or if you needed a spare cloak for Jon Pertwee, you know, or just to repaint it, then it's nice to have a spare cloak and that. And to be honest, it makes me wonder why the 2016 set with the Third Doctor didn't come with a cloak, you know, and yet this one does. But yet no accessories, no sonic screwdriver, no nothing, which is unfortunate for this figure. That obviously one of the Fourth Doctor's main things is sonic screwdriver, but it's more of a disappointment for another certain figure in this 3-pack than the Fourth Doctor, because obviously the Fourth Doctor, you know, isn't always holding a sonic screwdriver and that. But anyway, let's talk about the Brigadier, shall we? But before we do that, trying to put the Fourth Doctor, his arms just pop off so easily. It's something I'd just quickly like to mention. I'm trying to get this cloak to go back on is very difficult. It's more difficult than previous ones because it's so rubbery. So I'd just quickly like to mention that because I was trying to put this back on just off camera and that, and it, you know, since it's so rubbery, just to note that his arms can pop off very, very easily. But, oops, I'm assuming that they will just pop back in, yes. So they do pop in very easily again as well, but that's just annoying. It feels, you know, that these figures, the build quality of them, does feel a bit weak in places. So that's just something to watch out for, that these arms can pop off very easily. Yeah, and obviously articulation is the same as any other Third Doctor figure, because that's what this is. It's a Third Doctor figure with a Fourth Doctor head on it. Anyway, to the Brigadier. Okay, so here we have a Season 7 Brigadier figure. And to be honest, it looks really good. It's just the standard Brigadier head from the Claws of Axos with the beret on it. And you can see the beret has some nice details on it, if the camera will focus on it, and it will not. You can see there, you've got some nice little detail on. And it does obviously look like Nicholas Courtney. I think it looks really nice. The skin does look a little bit pale, to be honest. I think it looks more like the Brigadier sort of from the side. Perhaps maybe not dead on. It's using the Captain Jack body, which is also the body that the Auton uses, but just slightly, but obviously just repainted to look like the Season 7 unit costumes. And to be honest, I think it does kind of work. And it's a nice little variant of the Brigadier. And that, I mean, to be honest, it was a variant I didn't think they'd ever do. However, it is inaccurate. And the main inaccuracy is here. This should not be undone and that like this. You shouldn't be wearing a necktie there. You should be just wearing a regular tie. But obviously, that is a problem because it's just using the Captain Jack figure. I like the fact that they've got the nice little arm band and that going around there, which is obviously just painted. But when you lift it up, he does look like he's got something, he's bleeding from his armpit when you lift his arm up like that, which, is a little bit odd. And that they've just painted the shoes brown and that. I think the costume, to be honest, on camera, it looks okay, but I think the colour may be just slightly off. To be honest, I think it could have, I don't know. It's just something about it that I can't really describe that makes it look slightly off. But there's a bit of a problem. The Brigadier does not come with a revolver or any accessory of any kind, which I find this to be a major problem because his hand is clearly sculpted to, so it just feels a bit odd having the Brigadier with no accessory whatsoever, because obviously the Brigadier generally, when he's out and about and that, he always has his revolver with him or a swagger stick, but nothing in this case, and I don't know why, because these sets are the same price as last year's sets. So, and last year's came with accessories, came with plenty of accessories, so why didn't this year's? It feels like characters just trying to be a bit lazier and just can't be asked anymore, which is a real disappointment. But, it's if you don't have a Brigadier figure, then I guess this is nice enough for you. Personally, I prefer the Three Doctors variant of the Brigadier that was released by character, which you can still find on eBay for £20. So, if you really want a Brigadier figure, I would pick up the Three Doctors set. But finally, let's get on to the Auton. Okay, so here's the Auton. And this year, this is our only monster, unfortunately, and my dog has just come to see. Which is a disappointment for me because obviously no monster set, and this is the only monster. And to be honest, this is a one that I could have really done without. And the main reason is, if you didn't know, Forbidden Planet had the Enemies of the Third Doctor box setting for so long that they were reduced to $9.99 at one point, and then on the day of Series 10 starting to air, they did a deal where you could get the Enemies of the Third Doctor set, the Enemies of the First Doctor set, and the Cheer set, all three for £15. So to be honest, by the end of it, they couldn't pay you to get rid of them. So to be honest, an inaccurate variant, and it is inaccurate because obviously the head is completely wrong. And for some reason, they've got a bit of black on the eyes, but it's like they couldn't decide whether to paint the eyes black or just leave them sort of this plastic tone. So it's kind of a bit of both. The eyes look really odd in that way, which I don't really like, to be honest. I mean, just look at those eyes. They look really odd. What is up with them? The body is obviously the Captain Jack figure, again, just repainted. To be honest, this doesn't bother me that much. Obviously, you've got the silver boots and that at the bottom, which I can't remember if they were silver or not in that story. I haven't watched Terror of the Autumn for a while. Now, he doesn't come with an interchangeable hand, and you can't. And I've tried to remove the hand on this one, but it doesn't seem to want to come out, unfortunately. And also, they've only painted the end bit silver as well, which on the previous one they didn't. They made a bit more effort in it. It doesn't bother me that it doesn't come with the interchangeable hand as long as it came with this hand. Though it is obviously a drop in quality from the previous one. I mean, if you don't have an Auton figure, then okay, fair enough. But, to be honest, bit weak. And let's just get my overall thoughts on this set as a whole. Okay, so the 70s set, what do I think about it? Well, to be honest, I think it's really odd. And to be honest, I don't know what the thought and logic is, because you've got two figures here from the Pertwee era, and then you've basically got a Jon Pertwee figure with a Fourth Doctor head on it. So I don't understand why didn't they just, have a Third Doctor figure and call it the Third Doctor set for 2018. I don't know why. None of these seem to correlate. I mean, that's from season 7, that's from season 8, or at least it's trying to be from season 8. And then you've got one from the Fourth Doctor era in season 12, 13, 14. One from season 14. So I don't know why. Why not just put a third Doctor in there? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, obviously there are a couple of variants of the third Doctor we still don't have. We still don't have Planet of the Spiders third Doctor. We don't have the Monster of Peladon third Doctor. Or why not, since you're doing a one with the cloak, why not re-release the original third Doctor figure from season 7? The one that was with the Sea Devil and that. Why not re-release that? I don't know why. But I digress. Is this a good set or isn't it? To be honest, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. I mean, this figure, when I first saw the pictures, I was excited about it, but to be honest, it is a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. The Fourth Doctor figure is just a complete mess. And to be honest, it's a variant that they shouldn't really have done. I would have rather, they re-release a Wave 1 Fourth Doctor figure, because they haven't done that in the UK. I mean, I know I've got a couple of them, of the Wave 1 Fourth Doctor figures, but a lot of people don't, so why not re-release that one? Or if not, because I understand why they will put a Fourth Doctor figure in here. Obviously, he's the most popular classic Doctor, so obviously his shit is going to sell. A variant of the Fourth Doctor that I would really like is either a Planet of Evil Fourth Doctor figure which would be easy to do, because all they'd have to do is swap a season 12 cardigan for a season 13 waistcoat and cravat, and there you go. I mean, that would be a much nicer variant than this, and would have been much more accurate as well. The Brigadier is actually really nice, actually. I remember seeing it and I was a bit unsure, but to be honest, it's nicer than I initially thought. But the fact that he doesn't come with a revolver is a massive disappointment, unfortunately. I can sort of live with the Fourth Doctor not coming with his sonic screwdriver, because obviously he didn't always use it, but the Brigadier always had a revolver around with him, or a swagger stick. So that is annoying. I mean, come on, character. You couldn't even include, a basic plastic revolver, because I believe the revolver that they included with the previous Brigadier figures was actually just Captain Jack's revolver. So, you have a standard revolver, just package that. The Auton, I guess, is nice enough, but it's a figure I could have really done without. And it does have an inaccurate head, but obviously they weren't going to resculpt the head for this figure. So anyway, that's it for this review, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!